Good evening, children. Can one confirm that I am audible?
Yes.
Right. You are welcome to the target paper discussion. Actually, our plan is to start a revision actually through real, most probably that is real to the same to the real examination, right? But I'm not going to say that same question that will come to the examination, but through these questions, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a certain level of reference, revision, right? This Ben paper structure, let me discuss that very first, right? What is the structure of the paper? This actually, there are main three sections. Let me share the paper. Right, there are main three sections in your syllabus. Sorry, in your paper. Some are MCQs, right? Not only MCQ, that really that is OTQ, right? Not only multiple choice questions, right? There are some other type of questions you to answer, just like answer in right. This is the paper what I have sent you. To this, let me explain the structure. Now for the paper, you have given 3 hours and 15 minutes. 3 hours and 15 minutes. And that is up to you how much time you are allocating for reading, how much time you are allocating for writing, right? Altogether, you are getting 3 hours and 15 minutes. But it says reading 15 and writing 3 hours. According to the paper structure, you have to save some times to answer last question, which worth of 25 marks, 20 marks, right? Then it's better you to know what is the question, right? Anyway, allocate certain time from your valuable time from that means 3 hours and 15 minutes to read and thoroughly understand what is the paper, right? What are the questions ask you to answer, right? Now, you are given a booklet, right? Then you have to answer all these questions on the booklet, right? There's an action verb list. You can download any paper, right? You can download any paper, any level. You can find the action verb list. That means what it says. If it says explain what you have to do, if it says state what I have to do, if it says list down what I have to do, if it says draw what you have to do, right? Then please read the action verb list. That is very important you to manage your paper, right? Here, altogether 100 marks allocated for the paper, right? 100 marks allocated for the paper. Then marks allocation for the section A, main three sections, section A, section B, and section C. Altogether, in section A, right, total 40 marks allocated. And section B, another 40 marks allocated. That means you have to write another 4 questions there. Right, question 2, 3, 5, right? And the question 6 is the case study, right? I also given a case study, and right. Last question, the case study questions, 50 marks. That means question number 1, section A and section C entire covered 60 marks. right? And section B, 40 marks. Then definitely you have to answer all questions, but you don't have chance to ignore, right? Right? This you have to answer all questions, right? Now the section A, right? Section A, you have 10 MCQs, right? You have 10 MCQs and another 5 true or false and write short answers, right? Okay. Then we'll start from section A, right? We'll start from section A. Section A, question 1, right? For the section A, totally question 1, right? Select the most correct answer for the question number 11 to 110. Write the number of selected answer in the booklet, answer booklet given with the respected number, right? Here, the first question, at least, I'm very sorry, I have to correct the first question. Right. The question is, what is the organization type incorporated and can't and shares in the Colombo Stock Exchange, right? The thing is, this is supposed to be which can, right? Not can't. Which can. Now, there are main types of organizations that we have learned, types of organizations, right? Now, there are partnerships, there are sole proprietorship, right? Private limited companies, public limited companies, private organizations, public organizations, guaranteed companies, right? Limited liability companies, the private limited, there are different types of organization. But only public quoted companies, right? Where the name, end of the name that indicate PE. PLC stand for public limited company. Only these companies can sell their shares in the share market. Private limited companies, those are not registered in share market. Guaranteed companies also, they can't sell their shares in the share market. Partnership also can't. Only public limited companies, but we can't say all public limited companies can't sell their shares. They share market, right? But according to the question, we can select question number 2. Public limited companies, only public limited can sell their shares in the Colombo Stock Exchange. Not only Colombo Stock Exchange, different countries, they have public limited companies. They have to sell their shares in their country's stock exchange, right? As an example, if it is in UK, then London Stock Exchange, right? Like that, right? There are stock markets for each and every country, right? Right. Second question. What is the business type that temporarily join together for a specific business purpose and does not require registration? Well, there are some business model. There are different business model, right? Partnership business. To the question, what is the business type that temporarily joins? But partnership is not temporarily joins, right? But they have a purpose. They are joining for a certain longer period, right? Limited liability companies, no. Charity organizations, no. Joint venture. Now, joint venture, answer is the joint venture. Joint ventures are not supposed to register. As an example thing, there are two companies, right? Company A and company B. right? But A and B companies are going to invest for a specific business. As an example thing, these two companies are intent to bid for a public tender, but the cost of product is very high. Cost of project is very high. But as a single company, is company A or company B, and they can't do the job. Why? They don't have sufficient capital to do that. Then what these two companies can do is, they can go for a joint venture for a specific project only. They are going for the project and they bids. Finally, they complete in doing the business. That is the joint venture. After the business, once they complete it, that joint venture is dissolved. That is not, there is no such business model. That means that is finished. Then that is not longer available, the joint venture. As an example, Uber and Volvo, they came for a joint venture, right? Uber is a taxi service. Volvo is a car manufacturer. One fact, common thing they are using is cars, right? Now these two companies, they are in a joint venture to do experiments, do research on autonomous vehicles. Once they find the technology and once they apply, then they are part. That means they are business venture that is finished actually. That is a joint venture. There is no necessity to register, right? But the two companies who are coming for the joint venture, they should have MOU, mutual understanding, right? They can even write sign for an agreement. This is the agreement. We are going for a joint venture, but that is not, no need to register, right? As an example, partnerships we can register in local government authority. Partnership also same, right? And incorporated companies we are registering in the company house. But this is required. Joint ventures are not registering in particular body, right? 1.3, an experienced fund manager deploys the funds collect from various investors in various productive investments. Now that means these organizations are collecting funds. Now A, B, C, they have their surplus money, but they are intent to invest in a business, but they don't have in which business they are going to invest. In which business they are going to invest, they don't have that idea, they don't have that experience. Then what they can do is, there is a specific business type in financial industry. This is known as unit trust. Unit trust. What this A, B, and C can do, they are not going to directly invest in shares. They are not going to invest in government like treasury bills and treasury bonds, right? They are not going to invest in debentures, right? Then what they are doing is, this unit trust companies, they have, if these investors are intent to invest, what they can do is, they can buy these units, not shares. Don't miss. In unit trust, investors are buying. There's a specific value for units. As an example, if A is going to invest 10 million, then this investor can 10 million worth of units, right? Then the experienced panel of investors, fund managers, what they are doing is they are deciding where they are going to invest this money. But the benefit is going to investor. But this investor is not bothering about where they are investing. But definitely unit trust, they have to pay benefit. Even though they have invested in treasury bills, treasury bonds, or if they are invest in share market, but if the company, they have purchased shares, right? But unit trust has a responsibility to give them the benefit. That is unit trust, right? Another is debenture. Debenture is another way investors can invest in share market without shares. What they can do is they can lend money to these companies. Share market registered companies, sometimes they are waiting, they are expecting loans. What these investors can do, they can lend money for them. Those lending money through the share market, that is known as debentures, right? For these debentures, the interest rate is higher than fixed deposits, right? If we want invest money in share market without investing shares, this is risk-free investment method, not like shares. If we are investing in shares, what is happening? Sometimes we are buying shares, again we can't sell these shares, right? If we can't sell these shares, since this company is lost, right? Now we are trying to sell these shares, but we can't sell. There is no demand for these shares due to the company's loss. But debentures are not like that. Debentures, investors can lend to these companies and they are supposed to pay higher interest too. Anyway, treasury bills, those are short-term and long-term investment tools. But answer for this question is unit trust. I think you understood what is unit trust and what is debentures. Got it?
Yes.
Right. One four. Select the statement that contains components only in the macro environment. Now, in the business environment, we can identify main three types of businesses. Internal environment. In external environment, there is a task environment. That is also known as micro environment. The environment is macro. This is macro, right? Right. First, understand what these business environment. Internal environment means that is internal, right? As an example, management, employees, different departments, our value systems, all these are internal. Those are internal forces. Capital, all those are internal, right? External environment, again, we can divide into two, micro and macro. Micro environment, that is also known as task environment, right? This task environment is very close. This is the internal, and the next immediate layer is this. But we have direct relationship with this layer. As an example, customers, suppliers, right? Competitors, all those are in this task environment. But the macro environment, these tasks, we don't have direct connection, as well as we don't have control over these, right? We don't have direct relationships, right? But this environment influences the organization. But what organization can do is, organization is supposed to adapt to these changes, right? Now, government. Government in macro environment. It is asking, this is macro, this is micro. Then we can't accept this. Why? HR department is internal, exchange rate is macro. Then all are macro. Some internal departments, that means internal environment and task environment components are there. Government, exchange rate, inflation, political instability. All these are macro. Government is in macro environment, exchange rate is in macro environment, inflation in macro environment, political instability, all those are affecting to the organization, but those are not clearly. There's a relationship. There's no relationship, direct relationship with the organization, but there is influencing, right? In next one are suppliers, macro, micro, customers in macro, climate in macro, natural disasters in macro. Now customers are there, then we can't accept that. Goodwill internal, marketing department internal, management internal, employees internal. All these answer 4 include only internal environment factors. Then the correct answer is 2. What is not an element in Porter's 5 force analysis? Right? Can you remember Porter's 5 force? This is rivalry among competitors. This is threat of substitutes. This is new entrants, threat of new entries. This is bargaining power of customer. This is bargaining power of supplier. Those are 5. Now, threat of new entries is a component. Rivalry among competitors is the middle component. Yes. Inbound logistic is not Porter's 5 force component, but it is a component of another model integrator. Who can remember? Inbound logistic, that is in which model? This is in Porter's value chain analysis, right? Then this is not in that. Rivalry among competitors, bargaining power of customers, those are included. What does mean by the term Brexit? Who can say what is Brexit? What is inbound logistic? Inbound logistic mean wait. Ask me. Inbound logistic, Brexit 1. Brexit is 4. Right. Inbound logistic. First, let me explain what is inbound logistics. Now, one student is asking a question. Inbound logistics. Now, in the organization, right? They have supplies from. There is when the suppliers are supplying raw materials, there is a logistic part. Logistic part means storage. Logistic means storage and transportation. Now, these raw materials, there's a storage and transportation function here. This is logistic, but this is inward to the organization, right? This is inbound logistic. Now, this company is producing finished goods. Now, these finished goods, they are transporting towards customers' supply chain. This is outbound logistic. This inbound logistic and outbound logistic both included in Porter's value chain analysis. Right. Brexit. Some says first, some says four. Brexit. Brexit means Britain exit. Withdrawal of the United Kingdom from the Commonwealth, not the Commonwealth, right? Commonwealth, definitely United Kingdom can't withdraw from the Commonwealth. Commonwealth is the organization that is headed by Queen or King in the organization or in the UK, right? Who are in this Commonwealth, right? Which countries managed under Britain, right? Colonial countries of UK, those are members of Commonwealth. Then definitely United Kingdom, they can't withdraw from that, mostly former British countries. Yes, but Commonwealth, then the first answer is wrong, right? But Britain except, then United Kingdom history is there. Withdrawal of Brazil from the European Union. No, Brazil is not in European Union. Another thing is not the Brazil, but that is Britain. Withdrawal of Southern Ireland from Southern Ireland, if it is Britain, right? Southern Ireland, that is withdraw from UK, United Kingdom. Only the Northern Ireland is with UK, right? But that is not related with history, British. But Ireland also separated from UK, Southern Ireland, right? But this is not the correct story. The United Kingdom conduct a referendum. Referendum means that they have to conduct a vote, ask to general public, are we going to still retain in the European Union, or are we going to withdraw from that? Then people vote yes or no. That is referendum, right? Then based on that referendum, then only Britain can exit. But Brexit happened, right? Britain exit from the European Union. That is Brexit. Which instrument is not used by the Central of Sri Lanka to control the money supply? What is money supply? The total volume of money circulate among people in the economy, right? Now, central bank supposed to control this money supply. If money supply increases, then power of purchase that increases, then people demanding for goods and service, then that is inflation. Then to control this inflation, definitely central bank should control the money supply. If central bank is going to control the money supply and reduce the money supply, then people will reduce their demand on goods and services, then inflation go down. If central bank want to increase this, then they will release money to economy. Now this stand-in lending facility rate, stand-in deposit facility rate, these two are known as policy rates. Policy rates. This is controlled by central bank. What is this lending facility rate? Now, central bank is lending to commercial banks. Why? To solve there are some liquidity matters. Liquidity. If they want more money in liquid form, what they can do is they can borrow money from central bank. Now, central bank, if central bank increase this money, what is it? Commercial banks are discouraged to borrow money. Why? The interest rate is very high. Then what is happening? Money supply decreases, right? Then central bank is using its stand-in lending facility. Stand-in deposit facility rate is, now if commercial banks have surplus of money, they can deposit those money in central bank. For that, central bank is paying them an interest. If this interest is very high, right? If these interests are very high, right? If this interest rate is very high, right? Interest rate is very high, then these commercial banks are to deposit in their money surpluses, deposit in central bank. Then their liquidity decreases. Why? Their surplus money that is deposits in the central bank, then their money supply decreases, right? Those are two methods in policy rate. Open market activity. Open market activity is central bank is selling and buying government securities in open market. If central bank is buying these government securities like treasury bills and treasury bonds from commercial banks, right? Then central bank supposed to pay money to then their money balance increases and they can lend more, and that is increase in the money supply. If what is happening central bank is treasury bonds or treasury bills, then these commercial banks are paying to the these treasury bills, then money supply decreases. Now all these three are using to control the money supply. 4 is floating rate. In addition to this, there is another there are a few tools used by central bank. One, statutory reserve rate. Statutory reserve rate means definitely commercial banks supposed to deposit certain portion of their deposits, right, in central bank. Then this ratio, what is the percentage they have to deposit, that decides by the central bank, and central bank can increase and decrease this. If this ratio decreases, commercial banks can lend more money to their customers, then that increases the money supply. If central bank is increasing this statutory reserve rate, then if this bank has 10,000 rupees, right? If this central bank is deposit 30,000, then 30%, definitely they have to deposit that. That means 3,000. Now central bank, commercial banks can lend only 7,000. That is statutory reserve rate, right? Statutory reserve rate. And bank interest rate is commercial banks can borrow money from other banks also, then that interest rate also central bank can increase that. Then they are discourage or encourage people, commercial banks to lend or deposit money, right? Then that way they can control the money supply. What is the Incoterm? Incoterm means the method of payment, the condition, right? Condition, how they are paying, right? Which are sellers responsible until cargo is transported to the named port, right? Cargo, this seller is responsible to pay cargo fees, that means transport fees, until this cargo transport to the particular port. As an example, if a Sri Lankan company is going to import right? Then to Colombo port. Till that location, till that destination, seller is responsible to pay. Now that is known as carriage paid to. Carriage paid to. Then what is the acronym? CPT. Let me explain other few. CIF. CIF included for cost, insurance and freight. Then seller is paying effective money for cost, insurance and freight that supposed to pay it by customers. FOB, freight on board or free on board, that is also the good deemed to be delivered by the seller to buyer when they are delivered on board the ship nominated by the buyer at the named port to shipment to seller produces the goods or delivered. Now that is transfer into a particular ship. Right. In addition to that, there are many Incoterms. CPT, carriage paid to, DAP, delivered to place, FS, freight alongside ship, FOB, CIF, cost, insurance and freight. Right. The correct answer is CPT. Now there are all those Incoterms and everything. I have a video, then I will put that into the chat of Zoom, Zoom chat, right? After the class, after the seminar, then you can watch that and you can get idea about how this international trade happens, how people make payments, right? How people, what are the terms and conditions, import trade, export trade, and those international organizations, all are there. I will give you that link to, right? Statements. Drawing two parallel lines on the check sheet. Now you should know, if this is the check, drawing two parallel lines. Account payee only has been mentioned on the check. That says AC payee only, right? Having a bank number and a bank branch name mentioned on the check, right? The back side they can write, front side, even in front side they can write this bank account number 12345 Vallavatta BOC. Then they can exchange this money, this check, they can in Vallavatta this account only, right? Cash written on the check instead of name, right? There is a place to write the name. We are not writing the name, it's written in cash. In which of the above cases does check not to be cashed at bank counter? Right? Now we can encash this in bank counter, right? But in which not allow that, right? Now drawing parallel lines on the check mean that to the account pay, then to be deposited in the bank account. If accounts pay only, definitely deposit into the bank account. Having bank account number and bank branch name mentioned in the check, then definitely deposit to the named bank account. Cash written in the check, then they can encash this check bank counter or the retailing. Then A, B, and C, right? What is the question asking? in which of the above cases does not check not to be cashed? All A, B, and C, right? If D included, RC is wrong. Why? If it is cash, right? If that term written on the check cash, then that not allowed to encash the check in retailing point. What are the conflicting objectives of commercial banks? Now, have two conflicting objectives, right? Conflicting. These objectives are conflicting one to another, right? Who can say what is it? What are these two? What are these two? No answer. Liquidity and profitability. Liquidity increases. Liquidity means the bank supposed to hold money in cash form in the bank. Why they are holding money, maintaining money balances in cash form? Yes, when customers ask to withdraw, then they have to give back this money. For that, they need cash balances, right? And issue loans, they need cash balances. If they have more cash, then they can maintain the trustworthiness with the customers, right? But the cash balance reduces, that bit decrease. But to earn the profit, these banks supposed to money sometimes, right? And sometimes they are investing money in some businesses, right? If they are using these cash balances for businesses and buy shares or invest in government securities, what is happening? Profitability goes up, but the liquidity goes down. In another way, if they are going to maintain more cash in hold in the bank in the cash form, then they have to not going to invest in other investment opportunities. Then that decreases the profitability. We can say these two are conflicting objectives, right? That is all right. That is the first part. Then up to 10 we have marked. The principle of contribution states that insurance will not cover you for loss that has happened. The principles of contribution, right? Of contribution when they are paying only the principles of contribution states that the insurance will only pay for you the loss that has happened. As an example, just you are insuring your car, right? You are insuring your car, right? You are insuring your car. Then the paying, but you have insured that too. I think you have insured that to 5 million rupees, right? Then in an accident, right? You are losing, your car is damaged, right? And as an example, think your windscreen broken, right? Windscreen broken. But for this damage, the insurance company is not pay you entire insured amount, right? Not the that is a principle. Then they are to damage occurred, right? Damage occurred. Then they are paying for the windscreen, right? They are paying only for the windscreen, what is damaged, right? But the contribution is, right? Contribution is then if you have insured your asset in few insurance companies, altogether these companies are paying your damage only. Then you can't claim more than the damage, right? That is one principality, that is contribution. Then this is false. Only demand deposits can reach an overdraft facility. Yes, demand deposits mean current accounts, right? Only current account can use checks, or sorry, overdrafts. Overdrafts mean the bank led to maintain minus balance. That means bank is encashing some cashes even though they don't have sufficient credit balance in the account. That is totally based on the trustworthiness with the customer and the bank. Treasury bonds are long-term investment instrument. Yes, treasury bonds are long-term. Treasury bills are short-term. These are treasury bonds. Treasury bonds are long-term. That is true. Debentures can be earn higher interest income than fixed deposit. I explained this, no? At the second question. This is true. Debentures. Holding currency notes to meet possible future risk is called speculative motives. Speculative motives. Now, there are many motives to keep money, hold money with them, right? Demand for money, right? Transaction motive, that is for day-to-day expenses. Precautionary motive, that is if something happened in future, then precautionary motive. Holding currency notes to meet possible future risk is called speculative. No, speculative motive is holding money for investments to improve their businesses. Then this is false. False, true, true, false. State two objectives of starting central. Don't misunderstand, right? What is objective and what is functions, right? What are the objectives of starting central bank? One objective is, right, maintaining economic stability. Second one is maintaining or ensuring system stability. There are two. You have to write these two marks. List down two key players in the secondary bond market. In the bond market, primary bond, there are two bond markets, primary and secondary. In the primary bond market, who are there? Central bank is there. Central bank is selling and can buy commercial banks and primary dealers. Primary dealers and commercial bank and central bank. These are key players in the primary. But general public or other companies can't buy shares directly from central bank. But these primary dealers and commercial banks, they trade these these securities in secondary bond market with general public. It's asking list down key players, then you can write central bank, commercial banks, not central bank, commercial banks and primary dealers. General public also there, right? List two key players. Step 2, difference between current account and savings account. Yes, current accounts. What is the difference? Now, current account can hold, current account can get overdraft facility. Savings accounts can't. Current account no interest for their deposits, but savings account that have deposits. Current account can use checkbooks, savings account can't. Then out of those, you have to list two. Two characteristics of business. To be a business, there are many characteristics. Motivated by profit. Businesses are motivated by profit. What else? Motivated by profits and continuous purpose, right? Continuous purpose. That means that is not temporary, right? Then these two, there are many. These two characteristics of business, you can list down. Here it's asking to. What is the full term abbreviation of CIF and FOB? Now you know this in core terms. CIF stands for what? Cost, insurance, and freight, right? Cost, insurance, and freight. FOB, free on board or freight on board, right? These are abbreviations, right? These are full terms of these abbreviations, CIF and FOB. CIF stands for cost, insurance, and freight. FOB stands for free on board. Section B. Right. Read and try to get the answer. Right. ABC Industries is a thriving has experienced significant growth over the past few years. As they plan to expand further, the founders are contemplating into the most suitable type of business organization for their enterprise. They have three options in mind: sole proprietorship, partnership, private limited company, and PLC. Four is supposed to be four. I have given four. Four. Sole proprietor, partnership, private limited company, and PLC company. Explain two differences between sole proprietorship and partnership. Right. Explain mean you have to write, right? Right. Explain mean you need to write an explanation. Sole proprietorship is business organization with only one person, right? Only one person, only one entrepreneur. But partnership, there are more than one, right? More than one. That means that maybe 2, 4, 5, 6, up to 20, they can increase their partners. 1 to 20 partners, by 2 to 20 partners, right? For sole proprietorship. That is one, right? And in sole proprietorship, they don't have any document, registered document, right? But since only one person is handling everything, but partnership businesses, they have to sign partnership agreement. They have to sign for partnership agreements, right? Those are two differences. Then you have to explain that what is the differences. That there are many differences between sole proprietorship and partnership, right? In sole proprietorship, the entire responsibility, the liabilities and all responsibilities, risk go to the one person, but in partnerships that distributes among partners, right? Then you can explain in that way, on 2 marks and explain in 1 mark. That is the way, even 3 marks. If ABC is considering together, what is the most suitable business model? Justify your answer. Right. You suggest me a type of business, model of business to gather large capital. Yes? PLC. Yes, PLC, right? Public listed companies. Why they can sell their shares and earn large capital. Models, they can't easily gather these shares, gather capital, but in PLC, they can earn more capital by sharing their own shares. Identify 3 risks that ABC can insure. Identify 3 risks. What they can, right? They can insure their, let's see, fire, theft. Yes, good. Theft insurance, fire insurance. Why? For their shipments, right? They can insurance their, they can insure their properties, they can insure their life of their employees, right? Yeah, marine insurance. Shipment insurance means marine insurance. Right. Question number 3. XYZ Global Traders, a well-established import-export company, is facing to crucial decision regarding its future business strategy. Over the years, the company has successfully operated in the domestic market, specializing in the import of electronic gadgets and export local handicrafts. However, the management team is now contemplating expanding into international trade to capitalize on new opportunities, right? Question now. What is the difference between letter of credit and cash in advance? LC, letter of credit, LC, cash in advance is another payment method, right? That means before the international trade happens, customer supposed to pay entire value of cash in advance, right? Cash in advance, then only suppliers are shipping goods. Letter of credit means they are not going to pay cash in advance. Two banks agreed, supplier bank and customers bank. Now, customer bank ensure the suppliers bank. Once the trade is finished, once the business is finished, definitely bank will transfer money. That is letter of credit, right? That is the difference between these two. List 4 reasons for international trade. Why companies are going to international trade? Right. One is they can protect their business if something happened to the domestic market. If something happened to the domestic market, they can rely on the overseas market, foreign market. And what else? They can increase their shares, their turnovers, to increase their turnovers, right? And they can earn money, they can earn foreign currencies, right? They can foreign currencies. Why? That is one reason for international trade, right? International trade. And these companies can embrace the new technology when they are attached with foreign countries, right? Foreign countries. Then those are reasons for this trade, international trade. When you are list down, if it asks list down, how we are going to write? Answer 1, answer 2, answer 3, answer 4. Like that, you can list down, right? Explain 2 insurance related to shipments. Now, for the shipments, there are 2 types of shipments. First one is they can insure the cargo. Cargo insurance is, that means the goods they are transferring, what are this company is transferring? The sea, or that may be air freight. Even air freight, we can say shipments, right? Even though that is going air freight, then we can say that is shipment, right? Then if it is going air freight or sea freight, then they can insure their cargoes. Cargo mean what are the goods they are transferring from one location to another. Another is they can insure the hull of the ship, not the shipment, the ship itself. The ship has, but hull insurance, that is not covering the cargo. Cargo insurance not covering the hull, right? Those are 2 those organizations can do cover by insurance, cargo insurance and hull insurance. Hull is the ship, right? Ship, not the cargo, right? The ship. As an example, this is a ship, right? They have these goods, they are transferring, right? Now, these shipment is the shipment. This is the hull. That is hull insurance. Got it? The ship itself is hull. Right. List for entrepreneurial skills. Entrepreneurship refers to the process of identifying opportunities, taking calculated risk, and in new ventures. Business to bring innovative ideas, product, and services to the market. An entrepreneur is individual who initiate and drives the process, often with the goal of achieving financial success and making significant impact. Right? List for entrepreneurial skills. Entrepreneurial skills mean what are the skills these entrepreneurs answering, problem solving, facing challenges. What else? Management skills, creativity, very good. Creativity, interpersonal skills, right? Okay. Those are skills. Innovative. Compare entrepreneur with manager. Entrepreneur with manager. Right? Entrepreneurs are risk takers, but managers are not risk takers. Entrepreneurs are initiators of businesses. Managers are running businesses. Right? Managers are running businesses. And entrepreneurs, they have a risk, but managers don't have. Managers, they are not bearing a risk. Right? They are not bearing a risk. But like that, you can list down, you can compare what are those characteristics, what those entrepreneurs are doing, what those managers are doing. Right? Entrepreneurs are getting what? They are getting salary, they are getting profit, but managers are not getting profit, they are getting salary. State 3 characteristics on entrepreneurs. These characteristics, what are those? Creative, right? Risk taker, right? Risk taker. And innovative, right? Innovative. And what else? Those are characteristics of entrepreneur, right? This characteristics to be there, entrepreneur. You can answer quickly why. Yeah, decision maker. Then you can save your time for the last question, right? This is question number 4. Right? And the last question of section B, section 5. The financial market plays crucial role in the functioning and developed economy. Characteristics and skill. This is two different. No? Characteristic mean what are the features we can identify? What kind of features there? Skills mean their knowledge, their abilities, right? That is a skill. That is the difference between characteristic and skill, right? All characteristics, we can't say those are skills. All skills are not characteristics. Sometimes skills and characteristics, some skills are characteristics, right? Right. We'll read about this financial market matter. Financial market. Explain the difference between money market and capital market. Explain the money market and capital market. What is the capital market? Normally, capital market, we can say capital market is long term. Money market is short term market. Money market has separate tools. Capital market has separate instruments to earn money. What are the money market tools? The most common tool is treasury bills, right? That is short term. In the capital market, they are earning large money, then they can rely on bonds, bond market, right? Bond market is a capital market. Treasury bill market is a money market. Then that is the difference between money market and capital market. Money market is short term, capital market is long term. That is the main difference between these two. Primary money market and secondary money market, right? Primary money market and secondary money market. I explained this regarding when I'm talking about treasury bill, right? Now money market, that is selling treasury bills, right? Not treasury bonds. Treasury bonds are going to the capital market since it is long term. Now primary market, right? That is main players are in primary market is central bank, commercial banks, and primary dealers, primary dealers. Now these three parties operate in the market, right? Then central bank is selling or buying treasury bills from or to commercial banks. This transaction that is happening between and primary dealers and commercial banks, right? That is the main difference between money market, primary money market and secondary money. Secondary money market, who operates there? Primary dealers, commercial banks, and general public. Central bank is not there. Now, general publics can purchase or buy money market instruments from commercial banks or primary dealers. They can't buy directly from central bank. That is the difference between primary money market and secondary money market. Investing in unit trust risky than investing directly in the stock market. Can you agree with this statement? Investing in unit trust is less risky than investing in stock market, right? Now we have studied about stock unit trust, right? Now tell me who accept or who not accept this. Just type accept or not accept. Unit trust and directly invest in the stock market, it says less risk in unit trusts directly investing in risky, right? Are you agree with this or not? I want to type in the chat box. Yes or no? Agree. Only one answer. Huh? I told you what is unit trust. I explain in deep, no? What this unit trust is doing, they are selling units, not shares, right? Then they are collecting money, collecting funds, and they plan to invest in different investment portfolios, right? Consumers, they don't have risk about their money. Why? The unit trust has a responsibility to pay them the return. Right. Last question. Right. Altogether 20 marks. Huh? Read it first. Fast Fund is a private limited company providing microfinancing facilities. Microfinancing facility means petty loans less than 1 million. Microfinancing facilities. Their primary objective is provide microfinance loans for immediate cash needs of small and medium scale entrepreneurs. During the COVID-19 pandemic period, inflation rate is seen rising. The government is seen rising. Government printed money to provide various forms of unilateral transfers to the public. Can you remember to pay that 5,000 rupees money, right? Economic experts of the view that the inflation rate increases because of the money supply increases. Printing, that is increasing the money supply, right? Recognizing that the crisis will be resolved gradually, the financial company is planning to expand its company. They are considering making this decision against the backdrop of slight reduction of credit availability of the customers due to economic crisis. When customers also very small number of customers, but the market is growing, market is resolving, problem is resolving. State two advantages and two disadvantages of private limited companies. The advantages and disadvantages. Advantages, that is the risk spread amount direct, that is one advantage. Limited liability, that is another advantage. Then disadvantage, they can sell shares in stock market. Right, stock market, they can't sell their shares in stock market, and less opportunities to earn capital, additional capital they can't earn. Yes, you can say the legal complexity, right? All are disadvantages. Next. Explain 3 ways that Fast Fund can raise capital for its expansion. How can they raise their capital? Mainly, they can register in the public, the stock market, and they can sell shares. So that is one. Another is they can ask investors to invest in their business. again, they can lend money, they can borrow money from banks. Right? That is the second one. See, explain 3 instruments that country's central bank used to control rise in inflation. I explain this. Make one keyword. What are those? Stand-in lending facility rate, stand-in deposit facility rate, bank interest rate, open market activities, right? And statutory reserve rate, right? D. An advisor has pointed out that investing in preferred stock is preferable to investing in common stocks in the stock market. Make if one right, your opinion. Invest in the preferred markets. Can you agree with this? Yes. Preferred stocks mean stocks definitely pay the benefit. Higher profit to be paid for preferred stocks. But the main thing is, if you are buying preferred stocks, you can't own the company. If you are buying large number of shares, but you don't control general meeting, that means you can't control the company. But if you are willing to invest in the share market, right, just you can invest in preferred stocks. Why? You don't have a what, but you are earning large, considerable return, right? If FundFast is going to incorporate as a public company limited, state one advantage and one disadvantage being public limited company. Yes, I'm giving opportunity you to type. Right. Give me one example, one advantage and one disadvantage. Can issue shares to public, that is advantage. Right. Can earn more money, large capital by gas, and that in advantage side that they can increase their legal recognition if there is public limited company, that is highly recommended, accepted by especially banks, right? Yes. For registration, that is complex registration method. That is another. Right. If space Which small and medium enterprise contribute to the growth of economy? Small and medium scale businesses contributed to the economy. In one hand, they are increasing employment. Right? They are contributed to the employment, growth of employment. Another way we can say they are helping to increase the domestic production, right? State two ways in which small and medium enterprise contribute to the growth of economy, right? Those ways they are contribute to the GDP contribution to the minimize contributed to state two ways in which the small and medium scale, yeah, reducing inflation, sorry, not inflation, actually, the unemployment rates, right? Then you can state 22. Identify one strength and one weakness of fast food. What are strengths and weakness? You have to get it from the case study. Threats and strengths. Strengths mean their maturity, right? Their maturity. Their maturity in the industry, right? Threats are, there's a social threat, COVID-19 pandemic situation. That is one threat. You should understand what are threats and identify one strength and one weakness of the fast food. Yes. One the strength is their capital, their reputation. Weakness is, what are weakness? Internal factors are weaknesses, right? Internal negative factors are weaknesses. Our inflation rate is a threat, right? Inflation rate is a threat. Now here, actually, that's supposed to be external factor. Weakness, one is strength and threat. Correct this as threat, right? We didn't threat. Now there are many threats. One is inflation rate, another one is COVID-19, right? Those are threats. One strength and one threat. In fast one, those are main two. Well, that is the paper, right? Now you have to prepare. Now I have included many questions, same to your examination paper, right? But this is not a real one. Definitely, you have to answer in this particular way. Then please try to answer for past paper questions, right? Past papers. You can download few past papers and try to write answers, right? Okay, then I think I have finished. Then you have to ask anything. Anything to ask? No. Right, then wish you all the best for your examination. Congratulations and wish you all the best for the examination, and hopefully I'm expecting you to meet in level 2. Then thank you very much for participation. First, I couldn't introduce me. I'm the one doing your part of your vLearning platforms, vLearning lectures, right? And there is a link, right? There's a form link in the chat. please give your feedback for this, right? Give your feedback, right? Fill the form and submit it, right? Okay, if then you don't have any problem, then we'll stop for today. Thank you very much and wish you all the best.